Hip hip hooray for a cult-free day. Welcome to my channel. I'm Natalie, and this is Scientology Life After a Cult, where I talk about my 35 years in Scientology in the Sea organization, as a regular public, as a staff member, and most importantly, how I got out and escaped with 3 generations of my family. So hello to everybody. Hello to everyone in the chat. If you're catching this on the replay, I would love to hear from you. Can you tell me in the chat if you can hear me okay? There we go. Hello, Nancy. Good to see you there. Thank you for helping me out today, moderating. Super Pup, David Lee, hello. All right, can you tell me in the chat again if you can hear me okay? Nancy, hear you loud and clear. Okay, good. All right. I don't know why it seemed weird to me. So I was just checking. Bueller. Hey, Christina. Good to see you. We have a very interesting subject to talk about. We need to talk about this. Hey, Chuck. All right. Here's the deal. Do you guys remember not that long ago when there were some leaked emails about what was happening outside of Hollywood Boulevard, outside of the Hollywood Testing Center? I'll bring you up to speed real quick in case you weren't here then. So there are these protests going on outside the Hollywood Testing Center. Scientology refers to them as squirrels or suppressive people. These days, they often get referred to as the Squirrel Squad because of that. And what Scientology did is they sent out an email saying that they were going to turn their cameras back on these squirrels. And they were going to, that when the squirrels are howling, the email cited a reference by L. Ron Hubbard where he talks about if the squirrels are howling and the suppressives are making noise, that means that we're winning. So this email goes out about this, that, we're winning. That's why the squirrels are yelling, and how people are being invited to come out to the Hollywood Testing Center. And basically what ended up happening is like 4, maybe 5 people showed up from Scientology with their cell phones to videotape and attempt to intimidate the live streamers and people from TikTok and YouTube who were there. And of course, we all know, people, out in the world know, if you're live streaming on YouTube, you're not intimidated by a camera. You're kind of looking for it. So it backfired as per usual, right? Typical with Scientology. Hey, there's an issue. How can we respond in the cultiest way possible? They have meetings about it and they come up with something. And that's what they came up with. So these emails are out. They're going, and as we saw, like 4 or 5 people showed up. And Scientology has continued to respond in very culty ways to the protests going outside happening at the Hollywood Testing Center. Well, there has been an individual who leaked these emails, who, because of her own experience and what was going on, she felt very strongly about getting word out about what the Church of Scientology was saying and doing. You've also heard me, if you've been following my channel lately, talk a lot about Scientology front groups, which is a topic that I want to keep talking about, because these are groups that Scientology puts forth where they pretend it's not Scientology. Criminon, Foundation for a Drug-Free World, the Way to Happiness Foundation, just all of these ways to try and gain some legitimacy without saying it's Scientology. How bad is it when you go out to promote your church and do things in the community, but you try to pretend that that's not your church? This doesn't occur to them either. Like, hey, I don't know, maybe we should, isn't it kind of weird that we can't admit who we are, that we're Scientology, that we actually have to trick people into coming in and trick people into supporting us? But no, they don't think that. They double down on it. Now, this individual, she's going to share her story, but it has everything to do with these Scientology front groups, them approaching legitimate nonprofits, other churches, people in interfaith communities to try and position themselves, because this is a Scientology PR tactic. They want to position themselves with legitimate organizations who are actually helping people. And this is all being exposed, and this is all coming out, and the person who leaked these emails wants to come forward and share her full story and lend her voice to the cause of helping to share and expose what's happening with Scientology, with the abuses, why there's a need for Congress to look into, to have hearings on Scientology's tax exempt status. So if you have a question, please write question in all caps, followed up with what your question is. And I will be grabbing those. So are you ready to find out who our email leaker was? And if again you're catching this on the replay, hey, yeah, go ahead and chat along with us. Jump into the comments. Let me know what you think. Be sure to subscribe to this channel. And if you like this video as you go along, like the video as well. So without further ado, I'm going to pull her up here. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to meet Diane. Hey, Diane.
Hi.
Thank you so much for joining. I just, it's such an ordeal, and we're going to kind of, we're going to find out more about you and how you got involved. And everyone, Diane is not, nor has she ever been a Scientologist. So keep that in mind as she goes through this story. And also, little fun fact about Diane, she has a channel, which I encourage you all to go to subscribe to right now and support Diane. It's called More Fun Than Sitting at Home. And she shares, it's what it sounds like. It's a really fun channel to follow. So please support Diane in that way and go and follow that channel. I'll share it a few more times. Mods, Nancy, if you wouldn't mind sharing a link to on occasion to that to remind people to subscribe to Nancy's channel, that would be absolutely fabulous. Now,
thank you, Natalie.
Oh my God, I'm calling you Nancy. Diane, to Diane's channel.
No, not Nancy.
Nancy's moderator. So Diane, let's kind of start at the beginning. And again, and I'll probably say this a few times as we go for people who are joining us while we're chatting. Diane is not and has never been in Scientology. Can you kind of briefly explain how you became connected to Scientology?
Try to figure that out still, but
yeah, I do. I remember you telling me that. So you're and I'll just explain this part about I've had multiple conversations with Diane now, and I've just really grown to adore her and her channel and what she's doing.
Thank you.
She has a humongous heart. She is involved in an interfaith community, when communities come together of different faiths to do good in the community. And she wanted to help. She wants to help. She does help. And through that, didn't Scientology come to the interfaith group that you were involved in?
Yes. So I was one of the leaders in my women's group church. And we were part of the interfaith community here in Ventura, California. And they were part of the interfaith community already when I became a part of it. And so we had all different faiths. We had Muslim, we had Jewish people, we had everything, all the different faiths. And it didn't matter who you were, what affiliation you had. And Scientology was a part of that. One of the requirements to be a part of the interfaith community was that you did outreach programs and projects with all of the churches that, whatever we did. And a lot of the things that we were doing as a group were, at the time, it was the Haiti earthquake. We were doing dresses for African children. And we would do hygiene kits for the homeless here in Ventura and Oxnard in Ventura County. So we were doing a lot of different things, and they would come to all the meetings, and all of the other churches would show up and for all the projects or donate money so that we can buy things. And they showed up for all the meetings. However, they didn't participate in any of the projects that we did. And they were easy projects, hygiene kits were just assembly line, a bunch of women getting together and doing baggies with different hygiene products in it, that
So
we
the
get
the
together.
representatives from Scientology, you're saying, joined the interfaith group, but
Yes.
they didn't actually show up to do the actual work
They
of
never showed up to do one project. The only thing that they ever showed up to do, which was not a part of the interfaith community, was when we had the Thomas Fire 5 years ago. I was in a craft mall down in Ventura, in downtown Ventura, and they were passing out masks, the N95 masks, which were impossible to get anywhere because of the fire. It was so bad here. We were like 2 blocks away from the fire when the fire hit,
Mm,
and it was smoky for 6 weeks here. It was horrible. So the volunteer ministers were passing out the masks to all of the businesses and some of the people in the streets. And I'm sure that they were recruiting at the time,
mhm,
um, but I was in the store, so I never actually saw that. But so that was after I was part of the women's group. I had already been released as one of the counselors. So I wasn't in the interfaith group anymore. That was probably about 4 years after that.
mhm,
Um, and since I was part of a business share group in a craft store. So I was considered one of the owners, and they were asking if we knew, if we wanted to get more masks. And I was one of the ones that they had come to and wanted my information and said, we can get you more masks, and you can hand them out to all of your customers.
mhm,
And there were women in there that were saying, no, 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 we don't want any part of this. And I had already worked with them, in the interfaith. So I said, yeah, we can hand them out to customers, because we had senior citizens working there. And I figured, nobody else can get them. So I thought, okay, here's my information. I'll give you my information. Absolutely. I want to help the senior citizens. I want to help the people who can't get them because they were impossible to get.
mhm.
So they did come back. They brought the masks. Didn't hear from them for a couple years, I guess.
So basically, you would belong to this interfaith group. They don't show up to do any of the actual volunteering. They
Never,
just join the
never.
interfaith group in
Yes,
California,
yes.
don't show up to do the work. But during the Ventura, were they called the Ventura fires?
This was the Thomas Fire.
The Thomas fire. So
Yeah,
during the
this was
Thomas
specific to
fire,
Ventura.
they did show up with a bunch of masks, hand
Yeah,
those out, and that's
yeah.
how they connected with you to say, hey, if you want more of these masks. So this is what got you initially on their email list.
That's what got me on their email list. Yeah, they had already known me. I mean, I was known. They knew me from the interfaith group, but I don't think they ever got my information. I mean, they had it, but they had everybody's information. They
Yeah.
didn't have mine specifically. I was one of 3 women leaders that were from my church that were on the interfaith group. They didn't have my information specifically until the Thomas Fire.
Mhm.
So and then I didn't hear from them. And then it was what, 2019, I think it was 2018, maybe, when they started calling me. It wasn't long after that, but they started calling me, um, and just asking me to go down to their church, which was then just an industrial building. It was all it was.
Was this in
And
Ventura?
in Ventura, yeah, it was on
Mhm.
Eastman Street. It was just a office building.
Yeah. Was it different people that would call you, or was it the same person?
I don't even know. I don't even think it was from Ventura. I think it was from PAC that was calling me.
Sure.
I
It sounds like they kind of passed your number around like it was the town bicycle and everybody gets a ride.
Well, I don't know if they were doing that then, but they certainly did that the last couple years.
Mhm.
I've had everybody and their sister calling me
Yeah.
the last few years. Yeah. But when they started calling me, they kind of became relentless, and then they were talking to me like they were an old friend, asking me how I was doing, and I had lost my mom previous to that. So, and then I had back issues, and they were saying, "Oh, well, we can help you with that. We can help you with back issues, I'm sure that you're anxious, and that, that leads to anxiety. We can help you with that. There's things that you can do. And we have a really good book and called Self-Analysis, um, and I said, no, 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 not interested. And I kept telling them that, and they were just like relentless. And one day I was in so much pain, and they talked to me. They kept me on the phone for about an hour, and they said, just let us send you this book. And, I said, okay, send me the book. And they said,
Yeah.
well, it's $35. I said, I don't have $35. I'm not going to spend $35 in this book. So the price
Wait.
down.
So you're saying you were telling them how, hey, I have all this back pain.
Yeah, I
I'm in a
wasn't
lot of
working at the
pain.
time.
Yeah, I've got a lot of anxiety. I'm really
Yeah.
not doing well. And they're like, well, we can help you. We can help you with that,
Oh, yeah.
Diane.
Yeah.
Let us send you a book. Like
Yes.
another
This
church, they
was
might
sure
send
to
you,
help me. It was sure to help me.
but then
Certain
they
to help
tell
me with
you it's
my
30.
yeah, then I said, okay, send it to me. And they said, well, it's $35, and then we can put you on course, and you could do it from home, and that's only another $50. I said, I'm not buying a book, So she was relentless. And anyway, the book went down to $20. I bought the book to get rid of them and didn't buy the course. So that was the only money I have ever spent on Scientology. I bought one book, never bought the course. Never even read the book. So to be
Mhm.
honest, and then after that, I was on every mailing list possible, and it has been relentless from then. But then the emails that started to come was like, I got a 6-month membership into IAS, the
Yeah.
International Association for Scientologists.
Did you ask for that or was it just sent to
No.
you?
Oh, no, they sent me a card, 6 month free membership, and when that expired, they wanted me to re-up that, which was $250. I had told you the other day I just got another one, with a membership number. So yeah, it's like, um,
Had
it's
you had you hold on, I just lost the question. But it was basically, oh here. Corsets and curls. Did you know anything about Scientology prior to this?
the only thing I knew prior to this is that they conducted personality tests.
Mhm.
And even my husband had taken a prior personality test before we had gotten together, that I just learned about a few months ago.
Yeah. And then
And
and the book, someone's asking, the book was self-analysis that she
yeah,
didn't
yeah, it was
eventually end up
self-analysis.
buying after
Yeah,
help was
yeah,
offered.
yeah,
And so you were already getting phone calls to, hey, come down to the org over here. And then
yeah,
you buy this book out of just
mhm,
like, stop hounding me, I will buy the
yeah,
book.
yeah.
And from that point, would you say the emails, the calls, and all that increase? Because like I said, they pass your information around.
Once I bought the book, the calls increased. I don't remember getting emails right away. The
Mhm.
emails didn't really start coming until after COVID. Then I started getting stuff in the mail about COVID. They sent me masks. They literally treated me like I was a member, and I was getting all of these emails. I don't know if they mixed me up with somebody, because I was getting all of these things, and when I was in the interfaith community, they had talked to us about, oh, you can take all these online courses. So I
This is
did
what
some of the online.
Scientology said to people in the interfaith community.
Yes.
That you could
So
take
I
these online courses for free.
Yeah, and I did some of them.
Mhm.
So when they started talking to me again, calling me, Betsy Davis is her name. She had told me, she goes, yeah, she goes, you're so close to becoming a volunteer minister. You only have to do the 19 courses. And she goes, you only have a few more left, and we're doing a graduation in August. And she goes, I bet you can finish them. And if you do, you can come down for graduation. You'll be recognized on stage. You'll get your jacket. You'll get, your certificate and all this. We've got a big dinner. And it's a big thing. And I said, yeah, I guess I can do that, So, and I didn't know any of this. This is really before she started this, before Aaron and everybody really started getting out there, before I started watching, before it blew up
Yeah.
really on YouTube. So I really didn't still know what Scientology was. And when you go on those online courses, they make sense. I mean, they, you know, the online courses, some of them, they're it's
Common sense.
it's
Some of it's
common sense. It's
basic universal truths.
yeah, I mean, they do make sense. So it's not anything harmful. The one thing that didn't make sense is I had to laugh because there's one thing about feeding your child barley.
Yeah, barley
The
formula.
barley formula. Yes,
Yeah.
I thought, okay, that's that's a good one.
Well, Diane, if you think that the barley formula is the weird thing about Scientology, I got to tell you about something called Xenu and body thetans,
Oh yeah, I heard all about them. Yeah,
which you've heard about. So
yeah,
you're just if you're just jumping in, Diane has bravely come forward. She's the person who was leaking emails to some of the
yeah. I'm
protesters.
that person.
She's that person,
I'm that person.
and she's never been in Scientology, but has had interactions with them through an interfaith group that she belonged to. And I wanted to touch on real quick. Let me see if I do have it here. I just wanted to remind people of what the email said that Diane got. And I'm not going to pull the whole thing up because I haven't cut out her info yet.
And I shared it with one person.
She
One
shared it,
person.
and then it went all over the internet with
It
your
went
name
all
on
over
it.
the internet. Yep, it's been all over. So,
Yeah.
but and I'm glad it did. You know, it turned out to be a good thing.
Yeah,
So I'm glad.
absolutely.
I'm
So
glad.
I want to refresh a little bit of memories, but first, make sure you go subscribe to Diane's channel. More
Thank
fun
you.
than sitting at
Yeah,
home.
there's a whole nother story about that. This is my second channel, you guys. So
Yeah.
Scientology kind of ruined this channel. So
Yeah, she
there's a
actually
whole other
had
story.
she had shared this with Scientology, and they got, I don't know if they were bots or how they did it, or if they actually legitimately got people to subscribe to her channel,
Yeah, I had
right?
over 1,500 subscribers on here,
And then when
but
you leak
not
the
the
email
hours.
and got inadvertently doxxed, and
Yeah.
they knew it was you, what happened to your channel?
Well, it wasn't the email.
It was
They saw me on Aaron. They saw me comment on
That's
Aaron's
right.
channel because my main channel has over 15, almost 16,000 subscribers.
Mhm.
So I didn't use that channel. I used this channel to go and comment because I thought, who's gonna, you know,
Who's gonna know?
who's gonna know? So I used that one, and they were watching. So yeah, so I went from 1,500 down to about 500, and I didn't have the watch hours. So now I'm way over on my watch hours, and at 8:03 when we started this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's see if we can get you over that 1,000 subs. Let's fix the damage that Scientology did. Now,
oh my god,
the email, and guys, this is what's so interesting to me about this. Diane was never a Scientologist,
yeah.
yet she somehow gets on an email list and spoken to and treated as if she's a Scientologist.
I've never set foot in a church of Scientology. I've never set foot.
Wow. So in this email, just to refresh your memories, it's basically the one where, and this is from what's her name, Betsy, at the Los
Mhm.
Angeles organization, and it's basically, "Hi Diane, are you familiar with?" And it's HCOB, which is the Harvard Communications Office Bulletin of 1 May 1958, called "Signs of Success." LRH says there, quote, "Whenever we're really winning, the squirrels start to scream. You can tell if somebody is a squirrel. They howl or make trouble when we're winning." So they send this to you, Diane, and it goes on to talk about how right now, for the past couple of months, there are squirrels crawling all over Hollywood Boulevard at the
Yeah.
Life Improvement Center, which is what they call the Hollywood Testing Center. Then they
Mhm.
go on to talk about how they're going to turn their cameras back on them. They're going to meet at the Los Angeles organization at 7, get briefed, then go over to the Life Improvement Center where they're going to put up their Way to Happiness tent, which they did not do. But they
Right.
specifically say, and this is Betsy in the email talking, "I will warn you, you will be utilizing your bullbait TRs, and you will laugh at them because they are really ridiculous, but we are going to flourish and prosper." Then she says,
Yeah.
"Can you come out tonight? Let me know, please. It's very important. We have a big group. I need your help." Well, sorry to say, like 4 or 5 people showed up, but these are, one, terms that somebody who's never been in Scientology is not going to be familiar with. What I'm curious, you get this email. What did you think about it?
I didn't understand half of what she was saying, to be honest. But I had been watching William and Jessica and everybody, and I thought, oh my gosh, they're setting them up.
Yeah.
And I really felt that I had been watching for a while. So I immediately tried to email Aaron because he was the only one that I had the email for, and I didn't know how to get a hold of William, so I emailed Jessica.
Sure.
I thought I've got to let them know what they're doing. I
Yeah.
didn't want them to walk into something and have a really bad situation because it was already getting to the point where it was getting really bad. I think that only had the cops called on them a couple times,
Yeah.
but this just sounded like a total setup. So, and they're not doing anything wrong. They're like William said, it's First Amendment rights. Um, they're not doing anything wrong. They're speaking out against um, something that needs to be spoken out against because there's been so much wrong that has been done, especially to kids like Serge, and Laura coming out, and I mean all of the kids, Aaron, and they're just so much,
Yeah.
and it needs to come out. People need to know about it. But I felt like I needed to protect them. Just I don't even know them, but from watching them, I didn't want them to walk into something that was just going to be, a potential bad situation.
Yep.
So I felt I had to do
Exactly.
something. I
Yeah.
had information that I needed. I felt I could share and help, and that's why I did it. I
It's amazing. It's amazing. They're so it just takes so much courage and guts to do that, especially when, and this is why I'm continuously impressed by, people who've never been in Scientology but choose to take up this cause, who choose to raise awareness about it, who choose to support people who are speaking out about it. And, that's what you were doing. And your desire to help was being hijacked. The way that Scientology infiltrated this interfaith community,
yeah,
and then they don't show up. So they
yeah,
have to apply to join this interfaith group. Is that correct?
yes, yes, they do.
So they get accepted in, but then they don't show up to do any of the work and any of the volunteering, but
Yeah,
instead start, and I'm sure that you're not the only one who they reached out to email to, hey, why don't you come become a volunteer minister? And then you can do all this volunteering, and then we can take pictures and do press releases in all in the name of Scientology.
yeah, and I didn't know that that's what being a volunteer minister was about. I really thought becoming a volunteer minister was about helping people like I do with my church.
Yeah.
And when I was contacted a few times about going, I wish I can remember what happened last year or the year before. I want to say it was in Louisiana, and I really wanted to go help. And it was my husband that talked me out of that one. And then Lahaina, with the fires, and I really
What
wanted to go.
happened then? Tell us what happened then. And this
Um,
was the Maui fires.
yeah, it was the Maui fires just recently,
Yeah, it
and
was August.
I was getting phone call after phone call after phone call, and text and emails saying, asking if I can go, and it was like a general email asking for volunteers to go. First, it was a month at a time, and I remember emailing her, and it was Betsy that was doing it, and I remember emailing her, and I said, I would love to go help. I would absolutely love to help. And because we don't have small children anymore, and I can leave, but I told her I can't leave for a month.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving my husband for a month and going to Hawaii. And I'm familiar with the island. We've been there, and we were in Lahaina. It's one of the places that we went and fell in love with it. And
Mm.
I would love to help, and I
Yeah.
said, but I can't leave. If it's a shorter time, if it's 1 or 2 weeks, I'm there. I will gladly go help. And she said, well, let me see what I could do. And then she kept sending blanket emails to everybody. And then finally, She sent me, I want to say it's an email. I'm not sure if it's an email or a text. I have to, like I said, I've got hundreds of emails. I've got to look for that. But she sent me something. I want to say it's an email, but she invited me to go. She said that I can go. It would not cost me anything. My
This is to go to
airfare,
Maui.
yes, my airfare would be paid. All food, all lodging would not cost me anything. All I have to do is bring some clothes. They would provide everything, and I could just go, and it would be for a week. I could stay for just a week if that's all I could do, and then they would fly me home. So, and I even talked to my husband, and I said, I really want to do this. I
Yeah.
really want to go and help, and he's the one who talked me out of it.
Yeah. Do you
Thankfully,
know anyone? Did they actually end up going that you're aware of?
I don't have a clue. I never
Yeah.
saw pictures. Normally she sends me all of these events that are going on at PAC. And then afterwards, she'll send me pictures of all these thousands of people that go there. But recently, I've been getting all of these events that are happening, and there are no events happening.
Mhm.
There's nothing. It's like what that January 8th one, there was nothing happening, and then there was uh, what was that uh, Hispanic holiday that they were doing right after Christmas, that they were supposed to put up the tent and then give hot chocolate and
Yeah.
everything.
Diane, wasn't that around January the 8th or the
8th,
10th, right?
the 8th, yes, that's the
And
night that they had the bomb scare and they canceled it.
yeah, so
Yeah,
can you share now you were being invited to come, that they were gonna put up the Way to Happiness tent and they were gonna
yeah,
hand things out. And this was when, the protests were going pretty successfully.
yeah.
And tell me about what happened there and what you were told about why that event didn't happen.
Well, I had said that we had friends that I had told her we had friends that went down there, the first event, and couldn't go on the sidewalk because
All the
there were so many
protesters?
people. Yeah. Um, and I asked her what happened.
Mhm.
And she said, "Oh, we had to cancel that." And then the second event, the January 8th one, I said, "Hey, Betsy, we went down there. I took our friends down there. There was no event, there was no tent, there was nothing happening." Um, and it was actually Tracy Chandra that had emailed me. And I said, "What's going on? This is the second time. I actually made it down there. Not that actually made it down there, and had to walk in the street. The music was blaring out of the test center, and we had to walk all the way around it. And where's the event? There was nothing. There was nothing happening. You made it sound like there were hundreds of people going down there, and nothing happened. And so she texted me or emailed me and said, "Hey, is this your phone number? Can I call you?" And so she called me.
'Cause she didn't wanna put this in writing.
Did not want to put it in writing. And she said, "Hey, we had a
And
bomb
was
threat."
this Betsy?
This was Betsy.
Betsy from the Church of Scientology of Los Angeles, Betsy
Yes,
Davis.
Betsy
Okay, so
Davis.
she calls you to tell you why it didn't happen.
She called me and she said that there was a bomb threat. It had to be canceled at the last minute. She was really sorry. And that's what happened. The protesters were down there, and they had to cancel it. It was canceled at the last minute.
Because of this alleged bomb threat that we all know never happened. It was one
Never
of the
happened.
one of a few false threats that
Yeah, I was just gonna say it
Scientology
was a
called
false.
in.
They called it if in a false bomb threat because it never happened.
Yeah,
You know.
definitely. But I think it's so interesting that it's like she felt like, "This is why we didn't do the event." No,
Mhm.
no, no, no. That's not why you didn't do the event. Probably
Yeah.
didn't do the event because you couldn't get anybody to show up. Now
Yeah.
I'm curious because now it's interesting to me too that they saw you comment in Aaron's chat actually months ago.
Yeah.
Yet
That was
you
back in like September, August, September-ish.
yet Betsy and this Tracy still call you to get you to donate, to get you to
Yeah.
show up.
And even
And
after that, so when the email was leaked, I had replied to Betsy, and there was a certain reply. I mean, it was only to Betsy. So there was a certain reply in there, and William had read it on his chat,
On his
his
live,
live
and this
stream.
is
Yeah, but
Scientology
he
Audit Streets
repeated it.
LA.
Yeah, he repeated it several times, and I looked at my husband. I said, "That's it. I'm doxxed.
Yeah.
Now they're all going to know it's me." And then you had read it, and you said, "Hi, You read it, and you said, "Hi, Diane." And I
Yeah.
looked at my husband. I said, "How are they doing this?" Because I sent it to Jessica, and she said, "Don't worry, your name's off of it. All identifying information is off of it." And
But it wasn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, however it got out there, it got out. And, but I am still getting emails from both of them. So, and I had talked to you about that, wondering, but I am still as of yesterday, a couple days ago, telling me about the events that were happening Saturday and Sunday. That never happened. So I don't know if those events were for my sake,
Yeah.
to test and see if I was going to let everybody know. Um,
And were these
yeah.
events that they were saying were Scientology events, outreach events?
Oh yeah, they were supposed to be some big event happening from 7 to 9 on Saturday. It was a movie night. They were showing Gran Turismo. She was all like bubbly in the email saying, "Oh yeah, come on down." It was supposed to be I think on the lawn is where she said.
On the
And
lawn
then
of in Ventura or at the pack base?
no, this is all in pack. Nothing
Okay.
happens in Ventura.
Okay.
I think they give out food and work with food share is what one of the emails I was just looking at
Yeah.
says, but I don't think they work with food share either. I've worked with food share. I've never seen Scientology there working with food share. I've worked with food share before through the church.
Yeah.
So I don't know where that comes from, but I can easily find that out too. I can
Yeah.
easily ask that.
From
I
your
don't think
contacts.
so. Yeah, I don't think so.
And
But
that's what they do is will infiltrate legitimate groups,
yeah,
legitimate churches and organizations that are helping and doing good in the community to position themselves so they can say we belong to XYZ interfaith community here
yeah,
and in other places. They do it in other places. They infiltrated your group, and then I love how they just don't show up to do any of the actual work,
yeah.
but instead use it as a way to kind of recruit and get their own help. And
Mhm.
it's just like it's like the Three Stooges. You get seen, commenting on one of your channel on Aaron's channel, yet they're
Yeah,
still calling you and emailing you. But what blows my mind is they're emailing you as if you're a Scientologist. There's
yeah,
back in my day when
yeah.
I was in the cult, like you weren't allowed to do that. It was like you would get in trouble for communicating in a way to, they called them raw public, new, people knew or not in Scientology,
Mhm.
words that they wouldn't understand. And that's what they did. And I'm gonna share a couple. I'm not gonna pull it up on the screen because I haven't removed all Diane's info. Not like we all don't know who she is now.
Yeah. You know who I am now.
But still, we don't need to blast your email there. Here's some examples of the kind of things that Diane would get. There's one that's just my favorite one here. So check this out, people. This email, let's see, it's from Betsy. It's from Betsy, so probably Betsy Davis, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And it says really big on top, need your help. We are showing the rest of Scientology world how amazing the Los Angeles Scientologists are. So they're showing the rest of the Scientology world how amazing the Los Angeles Scientologists are. That's all at the top. Then it goes, hi, Diane. I don't even know how to tell you how busy and how exciting it is right now at PAC. And PAC is the Pacific base. It's where the blue buildings are.
Mhm.
You see the protesters outside of there all the time.
It's actually where I was born.
Oh,
I was born
interesting.
there in that hospital.
What a full circle moment.
Yeah.
So
It
it
really
goes
was.
on to say, there is some seriously hot stuff being done on the dissemination lines. And right now, Scientology Media Productions is filming for an upcoming international event presentation. They have been doing these all week, and there is one more where we need your help tomorrow. Now, for those of you who don't know, Scientology puts out more propaganda than North Korea. It is how they keep many of their members believing that Scientology is actually out creating an effect and doing good in the world. It's part of how they do this. So keep that in mind, right? Here's the ask. Here's the most important point. 300 public are needed. We can't have Sea Org members as stand-ins for this. So we need literally 300 people like you. And this is to Diane, who's never been in Scientology. Note
Yeah.
that they're saying we can't use Sea Org members to stand in. She's literally admitting that they're creating a propaganda video about how great Los Angeles Scientologists are, but they don't have any Scientologists there to use
Yeah.
to actually show it. So then it says where to meet and when, dress nicely. This is going in an event shot, and you will be seen in the video. The Pacifica Cafe is providing free snacks for everyone. Some may think it's kind of impossible to get 300 people gathered up in the space of 15 hours, because this was the advance notice that they sent Diane, the 15 hours. But they don't know us. I know we can definitely do this. Can you look at your day tomorrow and see how you can arrange things to be here? Email me back and let me know. Warmly, Betsy. And then there's, well, the PS thing isn't as important.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling. It is just mind-boggling because, again, we talk about this on my channel and others, this whole idea of Scientology propaganda. And here you are, Betsy, someone who's never been in Scientology, who
Yeah.
got involved because they infiltrated your interfaith group and
Yeah.
preyed on your desire to help and create change. And then they tried to take advantage of understanding that you were having back issues and
Yeah.
you were struggling and in pain and it was giving you some anxiety. And then
Yeah.
they offer to help, but then they throw in, well, but that book is $35.
Yeah. And it's amazing how it went from $35 to $20. You know, the price dropped.
Yeah. How does that happen? Is it like a hardback book? Do they start with some kind of
It
autograph?
was a spiral bound book. It's a
Wow.
nice book. I mean, you know.
Wow. It just blows my mind. This is such a great example of how dumb Scientology is being. Larry B sent you a super chat sticker. Thank you, Larry. Christina, Diane, what you did was brave. Was so brave. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christina. Power lies to paralyze. Diane is a kakan. Diane, are you familiar with a kakan is?
Kind of. I've heard it said, but I'm not really familiar exactly what it is.
So in Scientology, there is this status called kakan where you can do no wrong, where you've done so much in Scientology that you get awarded this status and you could like go kill somebody and Scientology be like, but that person's a kakan. So you kind of get the idea there. Let's see. Christina has a question. Did you get rid of them after being so brave and leaking this email?
No,
Chris,
not yet.
yeah, you have the emails, but I don't know if she means get rid of the Scientologists or that, but maybe you can.
That was, they're still emailing me. I mean, if they're watching, hi Osa. If they're watching, I'm not sure. You know, we'll see after this.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
like I said, I have another channel that has almost 16,000 subscribers on it. So, and that has this channel's link on it. So, we'll see.
Yeah, and I don't think, you know what, we have way more support on SPTV and way more views and way more people watching. That's why
Yeah,
we're encouraging everybody to go to Diane's channel. More fun than sitting at home.
thank
Learn
you.
some fun things to do and try. This is a great way to support Diane, who has never been in Scientology, but bravely came forward to share leaked emails when she was concerned about the protesters on Hollywood Boulevard, and now has come forward to just share her identity and just get it all out there. Now, this question from Corsets and Curls: have you received any communication since you've been blacklisted? Maybe they'll leave you alone now.
I've received communication, and I have a feeling they're not going to leave me alone now. But you know, me and my husband were supposed to go to the Ventura org last night to take some pictures and walk around there, and we didn't get there. We were sidetracked, so we didn't get there. So we it depends on the weather. It's raining like crazy here, but we're going to try to get out there tonight
And do your own Scientology audit?
well, yeah. I mean, we're all in now. So what happened to Aaron, and between Aaron and that cop, man, as soon as he got out of the car, I had seen him on Will's live, on Streets LA's lives before. And as soon as he got on the cop, I was on Aaron's feed and texting, dirty cop, get away from him. That's a dirty cop, because I'd seen him. And I think I was the first to text that to Aaron, and the feed was going so fast. But there was other people in there too that started, saying the same thing, because I knew as soon as he got out of that car that, like Aaron said, there was either not going to be an arrest or something big was going to go down,
Yeah.
And he's bad news. He's been on several, other live streams and causing several other problems. And my husband looked him up and he said, he's an actor. He's an
And that's
actor.
Officer Tim Talman.
Yes.
Jamie Casper's asking, did they want you to do a referral? Did they pressure you to sign up other people in your family?
No. Never got that far. Like I said, I've never set foot in a church.
Yeah.
Not in their church.
That's crazy.
No.
Ellie says, Diane, if you gave them a credit card, you'd better cancel it.
No, that was years ago. It was years ago. So
when you bought the book.
Yeah.
This is Tony, my Tony. So true, Diane. Things need to come out. You did the right thing.
Yes, they really do need to come out, and that's why I want to be part of the SPTV community. I do Disneyland videos, you guys. That's what I do on my channel. On my other channel, I'm the canning nana. So I do canning and food and things like that. This channel is my travel channel. We do amusement parks. So if you guys like Disneyland, you're going to see a lot of Disneyland here. But you're going to also see some Ventura and other org audits. My husband was looking last night. Oh, there's an org here, and there's another one here, and we can go here. And it's like, he's all in too. So, and he doesn't get into this stuff. So
I love that. I can't wait to see how long they keep you on the mailing list.
Wow, we'll see.
Pearl Snappy. Hi, Osa. This Pearl Squirrel is coming for you in Austin. If anybody is in the Austin area or wants to head to the Austin area, make sure you connect with Pearl Snappy, because she is going to be there doing her own Scientology audit and protest in Austin.
And I need people. I know there are people always on Aaron's channel, on even Reese's channel, all the other channels. There are people here in Ventura. If you guys can connect with me, I would love to get a hold of you guys and form a crew here, because I know where they recruit. And we need to get a group here, not just for Ventura. There are other places here in Ventura County. So we need to cover Ventura County because nobody else is doing it. So
I love that. So people can connect with you through their channel if they want to head out and go and protest with you and video and be out there.
Yep.
That's just amazing.
And we're at the beach here, you guys. So,
That's right. You've got the beach. You've got the beach.
The org is right next to the freeway, which is right over the beach is right there.
Wow.
So I'm 3 miles from the beach here.
Know Thyself says Scientology is not a religion. It's a criminal organization as well as a cult, and the gang stalking is beyond crazy. Yes. Agree with you. Dennis says, not a good night for resistance meeting on Hollywood Boulevard unless you take shelter in the test center.
Yeah.
Of course, it's in curls. We support you, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's fantastic. Cheryl Ray, this emails are set up on an email database that sends the emails and inserts the person's info before sending. She is still in the database and no one knows to remove her. That is true, but some of these emails are not.
Yeah, they're personal. They're more personal. They're not just database ones. I think the more from the other lady, Tracy Chandra, those are more like canned emails, The ones from Betsy are not. They're more personal, because the other thing that she was sending me too that I haven't even talked to you about is she was putting out emails to me for personal assists with people's names and addresses on them. I haven't
What?
even sent you those yet. Oh
Expl
yeah.
explain that. Explain
She
that.
was sending me people. She was sending me a urgent request for assists,
Scientology
um,
assists.
Scientology assists for certain people, like whenever they needed them, with their name and address. Usually they'd be in the hospital at Kaiser. They weren't around here, but with their name and address, and then also putting out need for rooms because people were coming out here and didn't have a place to stay, and they needed rooms and transportation to get to PAC. So and here I am in Ventura, and she's sending me this stuff.
So
So
for
that's what
people
I
who
mean.
don't know, how far is that from? How
I'm
far is it?
I'm about 50 miles away from LA org,
Plus
about
in LA traffic too.
in LA. Yeah, yeah. It'd be well, it'd take me about an hour to get down there. So maybe a little bit less.
Did they tell you what the people were coming in for who needed housing?
No, just well, course. They were going on course and they needed housing. That's all
Hmm.
that's all. I have to again, I've got the emails. I've
Yeah,
got
we'll go over those.
the emails. Yep.
We'll have a lot of emails to go through.
Yep.
Tell me
There's a
this.
lot.
So you've never stepped foot in a church of Scientology. They
No.
know this, yet they're asking you to let a stranger come into
Yeah.
your home and stay there.
Yeah.
And was it like a short-term rental where they were going to be kind of like renting a space and paying, or were they saying like put them up?
Oh no, just put them up. They weren't going to be paying.
Some
Yeah, they weren't
rando
going to be paying. Yeah.
who's doing Scientology services in Los Angeles. And that doesn't make a lot of
In Los
sense to me.
Angeles.
Yeah, because one, why would you put them so far away, right,
Yeah.
in Ventura, which I
Yeah.
think speaks to how desperate that they are, how desperate they are. And the other thing is, who would be going to the Los Angeles organization where they need a place to stay while they were doing services? I get it at the advanced organization of Los Angeles or even the other one where the lion is, but these are specific to the Los Angeles Church of Scientology, which
Yes,
in
not here.
Scientology is called a class 5 organization.
Yeah.
Why would someone, because there's churches of Scientology all over where you could do those same services. So that's interesting to me that they would
Well,
ask you to do that.
well, and in Aaron's live walking around Clearwater, he was just saying that that wasn't allowed. It used to be allowed to get like an Airbnb or to
Yeah,
go in
yeah.
with a house or something, because now it's not allowed anymore because it's taking away money from Scientology. So is that allowed out here to do that?
Well, I guess
Mm.
not if you're not paying, because it sounded like they were asking you to house these people.
They were just asking for somebody with an extra room, and it wasn't they weren't asking for payment or anything. No.
Wow.
But it was the assists. I mean, as soon as I finished the VM courses,
And this is the volunteer minister course, which you can do online for free. Is that correct?
yeah, they're all for free. And
Yeah.
it's basically just 19 courses that really don't give you information enough to be a volunteer minister, not to do assists anyway. I mean,
So they
there's
wanted you to give these people assist as well. They wanted you
oh
to have
yeah,
them.
oh
So
yeah. And I
it,
don't, I mean, I know the basics of it from reading the 19 courses,
yeah.
but I don't have a book on how to do all the assists. I understand that there's a book on how to do all of the different assists. I don't have that.
So they wanted you to house total strangers, but
Yeah.
also give them assists,
Yes.
which really honestly makes me wonder like what kind of shape, usually if you're doing a Scientology assist, you're maybe sick or injured or something. So what was going on with these people that they needed housing, but without paying for it, where they'd want you to give you an assist, where they can't
Well, it
find
was
any other
two
actual
different,
Scientologists.
there were two different issues. I mean,
Gotcha. Gotcha.
some needed housing, some needed assists, but in each case, not ever meeting me, not ever knowing who I am, they were giving me their personal information, where they were, which hospital they were in, what room they were in the hospital, not knowing me from Adam. I mean, they don't know who I am. I could
Oh
be
my God.
anybody. and they were giving me this information so that I can go to the hospital and give these people an assist. I
So
could be
these,
anybody.
and
I
who
could
sent
be
you this email? Was it
Betsy.
Betsy?
Yes,
Betsy Davis from the Church of
Betsy.
Scientology, Los Angeles.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
She's sending
ma'am.
you without even asking if you can. I mean, obviously she's asking you to do it, but didn't like beforehand. So she's sending you the names, hospitals, hospital rooms.
Hospital room.
Did she talk about even like their medical conditions themselves or just
Oh,
that they were in the
yes.
hospital?
Oh, no, she talked about what they needed.
Girl, stop.
Nope. Swear. I swear. It's all in the emails and I have them.
Yes.
I will go through them and send them to me. Yeah, you're going to
Yeah.
be
Send them
floored.
to me. We will be going through Betsy's emails with a
It's like
fine-tooth
Reese. It's
comb.
like Reese with all the recorded phone calls. I have the emails, Natalie. I have
Exactly.
them.
You have the emails. She has the receipts.
I have the receipts. I do. I do.
I'm
Yes.
just shocked that they would send out, after 35 years in Scientology and my own experience with them when I left, you think I wouldn't be shocked by their shenanigans and next level culty dumb stuff that they do. But to send out emails with that level of private information, names, medical conditions, what hospital, what room somebody's in,
Yeah.
and you had never even stepped foot in a church of Scientology. It's one thing to share that information with a group of Scientologists who are trained volunteer ministers to get them to go do these assists, or at least find out first if they can do it. What is the
Yeah.
purpose of sharing all of that personal information with no confirmation that the person is even able to go and do this?
Well, and
And
it was the same sending me to Lahaina. She said that we would be doing assists. And I said, well, I'm not real comfortable doing assists. I've read about it, but I don't know how to do it. And she goes, oh, they'll train you when you get there. It's like, just send anybody, send a body, just send a body to go. I do not know how to do an assist. I don't. I've read about it. That's it. So, and yeah, I thought that when she sent me the first one, I thought, okay, you know, she's just trying to get somebody down there to maybe talk to these people in the hospital. Maybe they're anxious, they're alone, they don't have family. I can't go, but
yeah.
and then when I got the second or third one, I thought, this is like a violation of HIPAA, you know, because she's giving me their information, their medical information. That's a violation of HIPAA.
Coming from the Church of Scientology, do you have any idea if these individuals were Scientologists or just people? I mean, it sounds like, was this
It,
an extensive list of people?
it sounds like, well, she would send me like 2 or 3 at a time. It sounds like they were all Scientologists. It does. Yeah.
Do you know if they were being specifically assigned to you, or was she sending this to,
She
hey,
was sending it
everybody?
she was sending it out to multiple people. It wasn't just specific to me, but I was on that list.
Wow.
Yeah. So how I got on that list, I don't know. That's why I think sometimes they have me mixed up with somebody else that, you know, I don't know. Because like I told you, they had invited me to the Shrine Auditorium to get tickets to go see David Miscavige for New Year's Eve, their New Year's Eve event in January
So
or
how did they approach
December,
you about
whatever.
that?
Email, and I got multiple phone calls about that. I mean, multiple. And when I told them, look, I live in Ventura, and they said, well, that's not a problem. This is an event for Scientology. You're supposed to go to this. And I said, well, I'm sorry, but I'm in Ventura, and they said, but it's the event of the year. You're supposed to go to this. And I said, I'm not supposed to go to this. Why am I supposed to go to this? And they said, well, every Scientology is in all of the California is going to be there. I said, okay, but I'm in Ventura. I'm not going to be there. We have other plans, Why would I be there, So, and I even told my husband, should I get tickets and just take my phone in and record it, and just, just not videotape it, but put it on record and audio tape it?
Yeah.
And he said, no, we're not going to do that. But
I
I mean, it was the mindset I was in at the time, because I was like, I was so flustered that they would even do that, because I was getting calls every day. And then I was getting calls from the San Fernando org. that was like one of the last things. I got calls. I got a couple emails and then calls from the San Fernando org that they wanted me to be on staff. Why don't I join staff at the San Fernando org? It's like, really? Well, I'm in Ventura for one. It's a little bit far, but yeah, no.
I think you're going to end up having to get merch on your channel that says, "But I'm in Ventura."
Oh, my husband came up with such a good one yesterday. That's what I mean. I don't even know where he is. He should be home. I'm sure he's on my live because I've got him. I don't see him, but I'm sure he's on my live. But he came up with a really good one. He goes, "We're getting merch. That's it. We're getting merch." He goes, "My body thetans are itchy." He said, "We're doing it. We're doing it." I said, "Oh, you're really getting into this now."
I love that. And here's Diane's channel. Head over there and subscribe. Head over there and subscribe. This is how we can support Diane. Plus, she has fantastic content. This is her travel channel. More fun than sitting at home. Let's get her subscribed. She lost a bunch of subscriber and Scientology bots when she got doxxed, and they found out about her, but we're going to build that back up. I love that at one point your husband's all, "No, you can't go record that about Scientology." And now he's all like,
here.
"Let's go videotape."
Yes, he's here. I don't know where he is, but he is in the chat.
Do you think that this was because you mentioned recent events, given what happened to Aaron in California, the LAPD, Officer Tallman, that whole thing and you said that you and your husband were watching this. Were you watching it in real time when it was happening?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We watched so my husband was at work and I was watching from the time that Aaron got out of the car. I watched every bit of it from the time he got out of the car until it ended. And I texted my husband because we knew I wanted to go down there. I wanted so badly to go down there. And I, and he said, "No, I don't think it's a good idea." And it probably wasn't, because he would have been in jail. So I would have missed him anyway. But I do wish I'd have gone down there, just to say, "Hey, I support you." And next time he's down there, I'm going.
Go and be like, "I'm Diane from Ventura."
That's exactly what I wanted to say, is, "Hey, I'm Diane." I was going to hold up my phone with the email on it so he knew and just say, "Hey, look, this is who I am." Because I didn't want it to be on his live who I was, but I was just going to hold up the email and say, "This is me. I'm this person," but I do want to meet him. And but I watched and I texted my husband because it was 20 minutes after he got out of the car that it happened. Yeah. So I texted Jack and I said, "Oh my gosh." I said, "Aaron just got assaulted." He goes, "What?" So he came home and we were watching the whole time. We stayed.
Wait. Pause. Did you say your husband's name is Jack?
Yes.
So Jack and Diane.
Yes.
I love that. Forget us. That's so cute.
We met in junior high school in 79 when that song came out. So yeah, we're Jack and Diane.
I absolutely love that. So you guys are watching this play out. You're seeing the injustice and what's happening.
Oh my gosh. I was alone when he got assaulted. So I was sitting here literally in tears. I mean, Aaron's become like a family member to me, to both of us now. So you all have. So it was like, I was just sitting here crying because I'm just sitting here going like this, and I was just glued. I could not leave. We didn't go anywhere that night, and it was Friday night. And I was just floored. I thought, oh my gosh, something's going to happen, and I was so terrified that they were going to keep him all weekend. I really was. And Jack was saying, well, they can, but he'll probably be out in 4 hours. Don't worry, he'll probably be out. But it was scary. I thought he came all this way. And then I remembered the day before he had said, guys, because somebody had asked him, are you concerned about going down there and them doing something? And he said, well, yeah, it is a concern of mine. He said, but I'm going to go down there. I don't want to make a big thing. I don't want to make it about me. I want to be in the background and, just watch everybody. And I told Jack that. And I said, oh, okay. They closed down Hollywood and Highland, they had helicopters and they had 20, kind kind of became about him, But I mean, not that he did it, but it was all planned. He was so set up. He was so set up.
Absolutely. It's
Ugh,
interesting to me too how having had your experience that you did with Scientology and mainly through Betsy and these people reaching out to you and really infiltrating the group that you were in and trying to hijack your help that you wanted to give
yeah,
is what really blows my mind. I know I shouldn't be surprised. I keep saying this, but I'm always surprised just when you think they couldn't get more culty, they somehow managed to take it to the next level. So,
yeah.
when is the last time that you got an email from Diane or the Church of Scientology?
For Betsy, you mean?
From Betsy.
Um,
Betsy.
it was Friday. I
Mhm.
want to say no, maybe Thursday. It was Thursday because she told me about the event Saturday and the event Sunday.
And what were
That
those events?
it was family night that was happening. Let me see, because I can pull it up. It was family night. Um, where
At
it is.
the Los Angeles organization, or was this something they were pushing for at the testing center?
Um, where is it?
And if you're jumping in, Diane has never been in Scientology. She became connected to Scientology because she joined her interfaith community group, which was infiltrated by Scientology, who joined, had to be approved to join. We're going to talk more about that later. And then they didn't show up to do any of the volunteering, just showed up for the resources.
Yeah, they never did anything. They
Yeah.
never did anything. So this one, it was sent 5 days ago. So that would put it, what, Thursday, Wednesday or Thursday. It says, "Hi, Diane. On Saturday evening, we're holding a family movie night at 7:30, complete with free movie, snack concessions, hot dogs, and drinks. The movie playing is Gran Turismo, based on the unbelievable, inspiring true story of a team of underdogs, a struggling working classic gamer," and she goes on to describe the movie. Um, let's see, Sunday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., we have family day on the cafe lawn with arts and crafts, treasure hunt, birdhouse making, and games. Um, let's
And
see.
where was this?
This is at PAC. This is because I asked her where it was.
I wonder if it
Yeah,
actually
it was
happened.
on the cafe lawn. No, it didn't happen because Friday or Saturday, the guys were all down there filming all day Saturday, and you can see the lawn.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, you
at
know
night,
what?
there was nobody there.
They had the volunteer minister tents up, but no one was there.
Oh, well, okay.
So
There you go.
I bet maybe they had it and nobody showed up
Geez,
because
surprise there.
yeah, the volunteer ministers tents were up because I remember, and I think it was Chris without a Hellcats video. Him or Confident Chris were walking down on L1 Hubbard Way. And I even put in the chat, I'm like, those are volunteer minister tents. So
Oh,
they're
yeah, I
doing
saw that.
something.
I did see that. But it
But you
wasn't
didn't,
supposed to be volunteer ministers. It was supposed to be like a family night.
well, that's what they call it. But
Okay.
it's all
And
about
then so
promoting.
that was supposed to be 7:30 to 9 or 7:30 to 9:30 on Saturday night. And then again, all these games and hot dogs and everything from 1 to 4 on the lawn. And they passed by on the lawn at that time because we were watching, and that lawn was empty. There was nothing there. There was nothing there.
So did you get any information afterwards about it being canceled or anything like that?
No, not yet, but I did email her back. I, I told her that we went by there and I said, "Hey, this is the third event that seems to have been canceled that I was invited to." So, and I haven't gotten anything yet. So, we'll see if she's watching, and we'll see where it goes from here.
I love that you're just punking her.
You know, I feel like they've played with me.
Yeah.
Oh, my husband said something. I've dealt with way more threatening people than Scientologists, but thanks for the advice. Yeah. I don't know what was before that.
Yeah,
I
I
don't know
don't know
what somebody
either.
said, but yeah. I started playing along with her, after I sent the email, and I was doxxed because I figured, what the heck, I'm
What the
out
heck?
there, because
You're
I
out
figured
there.
that my response was read on air. So, and I'm the only one who responded to her. So she has to know who it is, but obviously she didn't. So, you know, but
Often in
whatever.
Scientology, one hand does not know what the other one is doing.
Yeah,
They keep it
obviously.
very kind of insulated that
Yeah.
way to it makes it easier to get away with things. Love Maddie's asking, so did Diane actually take classes at the Church of Scientology? No, she did
Never
some
stuck to
online.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, only online. Never actually been into a church in my life. I did take the personality test online, and then was read me on the phone, because I think it was during COVID that I did it. And when she read me the results, it was Nancy over at the local org here, the Ventura org. And when she read me the results, oh, she said, because she sent me the results, and everything was like the line, and you have the top stuff and then some
Yeah.
on the bottom. Well, all mine were up above the top. And she goes, wow, she goes, we don't get a lot of people that are like you. And I said, is that a good thing or a bad thing? And she goes, no, that's a really good thing. And I said, well, what does that mean? And she says, well, you just seem like a really happy person. I said, oh, well, I am, that's who I am. And she goes, yeah, you only have like two things that are going down below the line, but we can help you with that. And I said, okay, I don't remember what they were. I have those on my computer too, somewhere. I have the personality test, but she was like really confused, I guess, that I wasn't a really horrible person. I don't know. I didn't
Yeah.
have bad
Yeah.
personality test results. I don't know.
That you weren't more messed up.
Yeah, I didn't need a whole lot of help.
Wow.
I don't know.
It just continues to blow my mind. Now, there's much more. Diane and I are going to go through a lot of these emails
Yeah.
because I have a million questions, and there's a lot of it that relates back to front groups for Scientology and how Scientology uses these front groups to gain acceptance into general society. And it often backfires on them because people, figure out sooner or later what the deal is. And they do things like what they did to Diane, where they harassed her over and over again with the phone calls and the come in when she was there as a volunteer and wanted to help. That's how they
Yeah.
found
That's all I
her.
wanted to do.
Yeah,
To
that's all you
I like
wanted to
helping
do.
people.
But they wanted to just keep selling you stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. It's crazy, and it's exactly where Scientology is at. So
Yeah.
make sure you subscribe to Diane's channel. More fun than sitting at home, because it's a great way that we can support her, because what she's done here is really brave to come forward and share this, and be open to sharing your story and what you did in leaking the email to, so that the kids out there, well, I always call them kids because I'm old enough to be the mom of most of them.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me
that
too.
they were safe and that they were okay. You really
Yeah.
worked hard to get it into the hands of somebody to say, "Hey, they
Yeah.
are planning something. This
They
is
needed to
coming."
know.
Yeah,
They needed to know.
they needed to know.
Yeah.
And then you got totally doxxed in the process, but here we are, but at least now
Doesn't matter.
you get
It
to be
doesn't
out,
matter.
yeah, out in
It
the
all worked
open,
out.
and you and Jack are now gonna be doing your
Yeah.
own protesting of
Yeah.
Scientology.
Yeah. This channel is going to change, because I definitely want to help you guys. So it's going to be travel and going to orgs, or, doing what
Yeah,
I can, talking about it, whatever, whatever I can do to help.
tr
So
traveling to
you have another
Scientology.
squirrel on board your crew, and happy to be here.
I love it, Diane. And I'm sure we'll have you on again to talk about some of these emails and your reaction to it as well,
Okay.
because that's the part that I just over and over again, because Betsy Davis from the Church of Scientology of Los Angeles knew you never stepped foot in an organization,
Yeah.
yet continue to send you these emails as if you were a Scientologist.
I have my Scientology number. Like I told you the other day, that letter that I got, and I was asking you about that. If they, so for those of you who don't know, I was just sent a membership, what is it called?
It was your
I guess,
International Association of Scientologists. They sent you a free membership, and then they wanted you to pay
because
for
I
it
bought
to
the
renew
book.
it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they've been sending them every once in a while, but I don't remember getting this letter with the member, seeing the membership number up there. So I talked to Natalie on the phone and I asked her if they considered me a member, because I got a membership number, if they consider me a Scientologist. And she said yes, because and I figured, well, is that how they consider there are so many Scientologists in the world when there really isn't?
Yeah.
And
Millions.
and they consider you an active Scientologist if you bought a book or if they have your information or anything.
Because
When
they
they
send you
send
a
you
free
all of
membership.
this stuff, yeah. When they send you stuff in the mail, you have a membership number. So if any of you guys have gone in for a personality test or bought a book or anything like that, you guys are considered Scientologists, whether you know it or not. So you have to be really, really careful. And I don't know how to get rid of that. There's unsubscribe on the emails, but I've pushed that and it don't work. So,
Yeah.
you know, so I don't know how to get rid of the email, but I certainly don't know how to get rid of that membership number. I don't know
Yeah,
how to
you
not be
probably
interested.
can't, but I'm happy to have you keep getting the emails because I feel like we should be taking bets on how long Diane's going to get emails from
Yeah, we
Scientology,
should.
because now it's out here, right? We're doing this live. It's out there. How long will it take them? Larry B, thank you so much for the super chat. Great job, Natalie. Love the channel. 10,000 coming soon. That's
Yeah.
right. If you're new to my channel, my partner Tony, who's in the chat, when I get to 10,000 subs, he's going to do a live with me. He promised. So we're all going to hold him to it. And we're getting really close. So I appreciate your support in subscribing to my channel as well, if you have not already. I cannot wait to go through some more of these emails. Diane, you've sent a bunch of them to me, and we've got a
Yeah.
lot more.
And there's a lot more to go through. There's
Yeah.
a lot more. It's going to take me a while.
Yeah. And I want to get your reaction to some of them too, as somebody who coming from where you did.
Yeah.
It's just blowing my mind so much that they're that stupid.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah. Well, you have a big heart. I really want to give you props for wanting to,
Thank you.
and in the end, think about it, right? You ended up connecting with Scientology because you wanted to help. You wanted to make a difference. And
Yeah.
now you are. You are helping.
I hope so.
You are, and you will make a difference.
I hope so.
So, yeah, in a way, I feel like it all kind of, in the end, you are helping in creating change, and you're going to be able to use your story, your voice, getting out there. Like you said, you and Jack and Diane are going to be out there in Ventura.
Yeah.
Jack and Diane from Ventura doing your own, Scientology, videoing and exposing Scientology. And that is such a huge help. So you are doing it. And
Yeah.
I love that. Love Maddie says Diane is correct. And even when you tell them to F off, they won't declare you or stop calling or writing to you. They still do that to me after 40 plus
Wow.
years. Oh,
Wow.
goodness. That
Well,
is
maybe if you
funny.
come on, if you start a YouTube channel, and they see you, maybe then they'll stop. I don't know.
Maybe then Jessica
We'll
says you will be
see.
declared soon.
We'll
LOL.
see.
Here's
Then
to
I'll
hoping.
need my own squirrel suit.
Yeah. Love Maddie says, yes, she is helping to get rid of the Church of Scientology. Pix61 has a question. Great live, Diane. Did you have any connections with Faith and Blue organization? And if so, do you know if Scientology was involved in organizing that group?
I didn't have any connection, but I know that me and my husband were looking them up. That Tim Talman guy. So we did come across some stuff online, like all of you guys have already. But yeah, we know that we know that he's linked to them. So
Yeah.
I don't know anything else than that.
Well, and I believe he's linked to them through the Church of Scientology, who once again position themselves with them as an organization to try and create this false sense of legitimacy, like they did with your interfaith group.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. So Faith in Blue, as I understand it, is an organization that brings together different groups, different churches with law enforcement, and they work together. And Scientology kind of hijacked that in Hollywood as they do. So we're going to learn so much more about all these things. And again, go subscribe to Diane's channel. More fun than sitting at home. And I think I do not doubt that it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll be going through some emails and sharing them with you guys, and we'll have Diane on again to talk about those and other things, including her new adventure for her and Jack to get out there and protest Scientology. So you know what though? Isn't it great though that Betsy and Tracy and others have been pushing you to get into a Church of Scientology for years now? And now you finally are going to get in front of a Church of Scientology with your
Yep.
camera and live stream it onto YouTube.
Yep. Well, like I told my husband, I can actually get in there. I can wear my VM jacket and go onto the property because it's the old Brooks Institute, which is a photography center, like photography school. So there's multiple ways that I can get around going and taking pictures around the building. I think they
Sure.
don't know me. I've never been there. So, you know, I know there's videos online saying, with two guys that are really, really outspoken and yelling at the security officers, which is not me. I want to talk to people, and I don't have that approach.
Yeah.
I don't want to yell at people. I want to reason with people and talk to them. So, but I think I can actually get on the property and walk around and take pictures, and I think that they would allow me to do that at least once. I don't know about after that, but at least once, and I can get a feel for what it's like because I haven't been there. You know,
Yeah,
uh,
that's
so
true. That's true. Belagaya, might the info help some ex-Scientologists locate their elderly family members? Very
maybe,
possibly, because we
maybe,
don't know who is in the hospital. So we'll be able to go
yep.
through that
Mhm.
and find out. Of course, it's in Curls says that you're almost
Oh
at
wow!
900 subs. Let's
Oh
get her
wow!
there. Yep,
Oh my
everybody
gosh! No, thank you.
head over and subscribe to
Oh,
More Fun Than
100
Sitting
more.
at Home,
Thank
because
you.
let's get Jack and Diane over a thousand subs, get them where they can be live streaming out there in
Thank
Ventura and
you.
where else, traveling. I love that you guys are going to do this together.
Thank you. Yeah, I can live stream because I've got the hours. I've got over 4,000 hours.
You just need
So
the subs for
yeah,
the
I
to
just need the
monetize.
subs to be monetized. I can live stream. So that live stream is not a problem. I just need to get it monetized because I do other stuff with the channel too.
Mhm.
Um, Disneyland and amusement parks that's my main goal, well, it was anyway. But things have changed. So we're going to be adding some things.
Now you're going to be traveling to different churches of
Yeah,
Scientology and
we're
just
gonna be traveling. Well, we go to different amusement parks, so there's gonna be orgs everywhere. I mean, we just gonna happen to stop by wherever we are.
isn't the Orange
SeaWorld is in
County?
San Diego.
Yeah, Orange County org, I think, is not far, right, from Disneyland?
Yeah, and I just heard on somebody's live that there's people getting together, forming a group to go to Orange County org. So I need to get a hold of people, and um I think my email is on my about page um
On your channel?
on this channel, or you can go to my other channel, which is the Canning Nana. They're going to be linked after today. Usually this one is not linked with the other one, but the other one is always linked to this one. So my other channel is the Canning Nana, you guys. So if you don't know me already, you will. So
And I'm actually excited about that because I've always wanted to learn how to can, and I never have. And I was like, when I found out that that's what you do, I was like, oh my gosh, now I can watch that and get to canning.
yeah, I have over 1,000 videos up. So there's anything, whatever you need to can, whatever you want to learn how to can, or food preserve. I do everything. I do
Yeah.
everything. It's so much
Is-
fun.
Simply Sarah's asking, did you ever say you were not a Scientologist?
Not a Scientologist.
Mhm.
Nope.
But I think she means to maybe to Scientology, like, hey, I'm,
Oh
this
yeah.
is.
Oh yeah. No, no, no. To Betsy, I've said it many, many times. I straight out told her, I'm not a Scientologist, right? Yeah, many, many times. Many
And she,
on the phone and in emails. Yes.
you know
Yes.
what? I don't think we all need to even like be being too busy trying to bring down Scientology, because Betsy at the Church of Scientologists in Los Angeles is doing it by herself.
They all are. You just watch what the crew down there is doing. and they're doing it themselves. I mean, we're just kind of helping them along, but they're doing it themselves.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
they're
true.
making so many mistakes right now with all of this. I mean, look at with Aaron, they called that guy out. I mean, they did call that dirty cop out. There is no ifs, ands, or buts.
Yeah.
And they called the dog guy out. I mean, that there wasn't even a mistake. They called the guy out. I mean,
I
he
agree.
was. I think he's an actor. I don't think there's anything wrong with the guy. I think he's a definite actor. I mean, after seeing what me and my husband watched what he did with Will and the baton. I mean, we've been watching, so
Yeah.
it's captivating TV, and it draws you in. So,
Yeah,
and
and very
we have
motivating
genuine
too, it sounds.
concern. Yeah,
Yeah.
you get really concerned about all these people. So
Tony says maybe this experience will help Betsy leave Scientology. Betsy, I'm here for you, girl. We will help you leave Scientology if that is what you want.
I don't know. Well, it's like that guy, that the girl that was out there, that said that she had just left 11 days ago,
Yeah.
and I was looking at her and thought, I remember telling Jack, I know more Scientology speak than she does, and there
Yeah.
was no way she was in there for a year and just came out 11 days ago. There was
Yeah.
no way, And then even Aaron avoided her, and he was looking before Serge started or while Serge was talking to her, and Aaron, the whole chat was telling Aaron, oh, go talk to her, and he goes, oh, her? No, she's not real. He knew right away, and it was just so obvious the way he was
Yeah.
talking. She was talking, and then Serge finally figured it out. I think she's a plant too. There's so many down there. They just really have to be careful.
Some things she said made sense, but others did not.
The only thing she knows, and it wasn't even very good, is from what she's learning from all the lives talking. But I think she's a plant just to see what was going on, and then the dog guy, like one of the Chris's has him waiting on the corner. He was staged.
Yeah.
He was staged, waiting for either Aaron to be alone or waiting for the right time for him to come across. And he walked across when Aaron happened to be alone. I don't know if he was after Aaron. If it was Aaron, because nobody knew Aaron was going to go off on his own.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he was waiting for things to happen. He was passing and then he was going to come back, which is my thought, and waiting for them to cause a riot or something and then infiltrate his way in there and cause problems is what I think he was going to do. I don't think his intention was that he was supposed to go after Aaron. It just worked out that way. And he got the trophy guy,
Yeah.
and all hell broke loose. But
Yeah.
he
Definitely. It's good that he's back safe and sound in Florida, probably out protesting right now. If he hasn't already.
I hope so.
Well, Diane, I just adore you. Everybody show her the love. Go ahead and hit up her channel.
Thank you.
More fun than sitting at home. You're going to see more of her. We're going to be talking more about these emails, and we're going to be talking a lot about how Scientology uses front groups to infiltrate legitimate groups who are out there trying to help. So stay tuned for that. What is today? Monday. So tomorrow I'll be back on Central Time at 7:30 a.m. doing a recap and sharing more news. So I hope you join me then. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Like this video if you have not. This has been so much fun. Diane cannot thank you enough. I know how much I appreciate it, and I think so many people will too. So look forward to chatting with you again. Everybody else, get out there and have a fabulous cult-free night.